Welcome to the MagiReco News. I'm Neo Dorothy Motherf. Our top story today is that the frog has appeared, which we thought was gonna happen many times before, but now it's actually the time. However, it's not just the frog. We also got some stuff that no one was really kind of expecting out of nowhere, so let's talk about this. First off, Kurue's MagiReco story is finally happening. Yeah, this hasn't actually been in the game yet. Like, you could do the battles for it, but you wouldn't actually get the story. So now actually there will be story for Kurue's MSS. Awesome, great. Next up, the Arc 2 Chapter 9 story will finally have voices and challenge. They're going pretty fast with these releases right now, because they want to have whatever the final chapter will be for main story to release voiced at the same time as it releases. So that makes sense. So they're finally catching up a little. Next up, anime versions are getting a rerun, so there's like a triple banner. The triple banner will have Anime Iroha, Anime Yachio, and Anime Mami, out of which Anime Yachio is probably the best. But it's a triple banner, so you could get so if you get the rate up character, it could be any of these three, which probably isn't quite worth it. I mean, split banners are usually pretty bad. Usually you don't want to run out of split banners. However, there is a Kurue banner as well, which is rerunning. So why is Kurue banner rerunning? Well, it's because she now gets an MSS finally with a story, so they're just rerunning her. Keep in mind, this is one of the best unlimited characters in the game right now. Is she even unlimited? But yeah, this is one of the she might actually be limited. This is one of the best characters in the game right now for Magia strategy. So every Magia strategy, even if it's not a dark type Magia strategy, you probably want to include in Kurue, simply because her doppel regenerates a crap ton of MP for the entire team. So yeah, she's pretty darn great. She also has like a personal active that restores MP to everyone immediately, so she's pretty darn good at Magia strategies. Definitely include her. She's like a mainstay in many Kimochi strategies. Next up, let me see if I can find it. There's a whole bunch of gatos again. There we go. This one. There we go. So you might have seen this already if you've already seen the news before I've made this video, and you might be wondering, okay, what is this? Is this Alina Eve, which is being released as part of the celebration of the Blu-ray release for the anime season 3. So they basically said, hey, anime season 3, here's Alina Eve, who might appear in anime season 3. So that's a spoiler, but that's not me spoiling people. That's the game basically saying like, hey, here's a spoiler from season 3, Alina Eve. Wow. Sure, okay. I'm not gonna spoil anything else about this, because just talking about the surrounding environment and all of the factors surrounding Alina Eve might be spoilers, so we're not going to talk about that. We're just going to acknowledge that Alina Eve exists and leave it at that, okay? But I will add one thing, it's not a spoiler, just a nice little side thing that a lot of people are talking about, is that when Alina Eve appears, she has witch runes with her. Like, Alina Eve is just her title that she gives herself or something, it doesn't really matter. The point is, she has witch runes, and you know what the witch runes for Alina Eve say when she appears? The witch runes are her witch name, which is Neo Dorothy Motherfucker. I'm not joking, literally in the witch runes for her appearance it says Neo Dorothy Motherfucker, which is why a lot of people are just calling her Alina Motherfucker. So I'm gonna stop saying that word now, or else I'm gonna get demonetized. Not that it matters, because no one watches this video anyway. I mean, in terms of monetization, I mean. So yeah, what actually are we looking at here? It's a Kimochi battle. Now, she's not a Kimochi, but they're still gonna act as if this is just a normal Kimochi battle. It's gonna we just had one. In fact, this one's still running right now, but we're still gonna get one on the 4th of July. And I can understand that the timing might seem a little bit weird, but keep in mind that this Ruby Kimochi was supposed to run last month, so it kind of makes sense that with it being delayed, suddenly it seems really close to the next Kimochi. So yeah, Alina Eve, the Neo Dorothy Mother Clucker, is getting a Kimochi battle. What is this Kimochi going to be like? She's Void type. Yeah, this is a Void type Kimochi, which means everyone does reduce damage against her. Every single person, including Void types, I think, all do reduce damage against her. With the only exception being variable buff. So variable buff is a buff that gives you super effective damage against anything. The only characters, I think there's only 3 characters in the game right now that have variable. One is Little Cube, Mokyu. Mokyu has variable as an active and on a doppel. I think Maga as well. Then there's also Parnell, who is a defensive character, so it doesn't matter, she does no damage anyway. You are much better off than taking an offensive character that deals reduced damage than trying to turn Parnell into a damage dealer, because she's so defensive, she has like no attack. Like, don't worry about her. But then the third choice is Anime Yachio. She has variable, like passively when a battle starts for 3 turns, and she gets it as part of her Magia, at least a doppel. I don't know if she gets it on Magia, but she at least gets it on her doppel, which means that she will be able to do super effective damage. But you know, Yachio, Anime Yachio is a blaster, and blasters usually aren't that good against Kimochi unless they're specifically a charge blast Kimochi with like trying to stop you from using Magia. So this Kimochi stops you from using Magia by blowing up your MP and is weak to charge blast. Yeah, this might be the Anime Yachio Kimochi, in my opinion at least. I can't look into the future, but at least it looks like it's gonna be the Anime Yachio Kimochi, because it's void type, so only variable exists for good damage, and probably Anime Yachio is gonna be the best at that, because the thing about Mokyu is that Mokyu has terrible discs. It doesn't have enough Excel discs for Magia strats, and it doesn't have enough blast discs for blast strats. You can still use Mokyu, it's probably gonna still be doing really good. But Anime Yachio, as someone who's a full-on blaster, and this is weak to charge blast, seems to me like, this might be the Anime Yachio Kimochi. And guess what? She's currently on rate up. Wow, she's currently on rate up, but only as part of a triple gacha, so you'll have to luck out to get her even. And she's not going to be good enough until you get her to 4 slot. So unless you already have her at 4 slot, don't roll for her, just pass this Kimochi, okay? So this is the thing about this Kimochi. It's gonna be fun, it's gonna be interesting, but this is only something that happens on the 4th. Okay, what are we gonna get until the 4th? There's still a bunch of days until then. Well, it's Frog. It's Frog. So this is Urara. I'm saying Frog to her, but actually she's themed around being a Kappa. Now Kappa, not the Greek letter, not the Twitch emote, is the Japanese mythological figure, it's like race rather, of all kinds of beings. And these beings, these Kappa, they are like little frog-like beings, humanoid frogs basically, with beaks and stuff, and they have like a bald spot on their head, like a circular, like me, like a circular bald spot on their head, which is what that cap looks like, and they have like little buns on the side, which is also what she has. So she's very much looking like a Kappa, and she's also water type, which also makes sense. Now the mythological Kappa, they do things to people that I can't say in this video without being demonetized immediately, but they're not quite the most like wholesome beings, I'll say. They're like a little, at least you can say that they're mischievous. That's one way of putting it. They're mischievous, and like the best way I can put it, but in the worst way I can put it, I'm gonna get demonetized. But Urara she's not like that. She's actually a good person. She's actually a good person. Like, no jokes. Now she has a yo-yo as a weapon, which when people said yo-yo, they thought like a little yo-yo, like a really small one, but she has like a little big one that seems more like a Diabolo. And I think there's actually like is there one? Not here. I think someone showed like an image of her like actually working the yo-yo, and she has like 2 sticks, so it's like a Diabolo, I don't know. But the point is, she's a yo-yo wielding Kappa, water type. What does she actually do? What does she actually like? Well, to put it very simply, she's kind of like a different version of Surachi, but not as good. Okay, so she's balanced, she has a decent amount of defense, 2 Excel to charge this. She has, what is this, attack up or something? Let me look this up just to make sure I am not telling you random stuff. So yeah, she has, oh my god, where is it? There we go. She has attack up, she has defense up on her connect, and she has guaranteed fog. She has a fog a bunch, which is one of the worst stealth elements in the game to put on an enemy, but okay. So she has attack up, defense up, fog on her connect. More importantly, her Magia is random 5 target enemy, does damage, doesn't matter. Provoke, that's important. She provokes enemies onto herself for a turn, and gives herself Endor Adept. Now Endor Adept is just a name for the ability that makes you generate more MP when you get hit, right? So when you get hit, you usually restore around 4 HP, but with Endor Adept you generate a bunch more MP. So this is basically the idea here. You provoke onto yourself and then generate a whole bunch of MP so that you can use more Magia, use more doppel immediately. And she also gives herself damage cut in order to survive the hits that she's taking. So yeah, actually a tank that, guess what? We have a tank that can actually do her job, which is tanking. She can actually tank, right? By provoking onto herself with damage cut. and then do it again, and not just once. She can like do it all over multiple times. Wow, a tank that can actually tank, amazing. Not that it actually matters, because tanks don't really matter in this game. What else does she do? Her active is provoke a damage card, which is like half of her Magia just as an active. Great, she can do it from turn 1, which is pretty important for Mirror. Like in Mirrors, you want to be able to do it turn 1 immediately. Then she also has Aqua attack up to herself, which doesn't matter because she's not a damage dealer. And she has fast mana up to herself, which is important for getting to the Magia quickly. So the fast Magia is going to be really important. And she specifically has Endor, this is what this says, Endor Adapt here as a passive. So basically she's basically the fucking same as Sudachi, where turn 1 you provoke onto yourself with damage cut, and then with Endor Adapt you generate a whole bunch of MP from getting hit. And this is not weak MP. So don't mix these two up. We've had weak MP in the past, which is you get more MP when getting hit by the element that is strong against you, like Mami T for example. But this is not that. This is just if you get hit at all, you generate a whole bunch of MP. Okay, this is what Sudachi has, because nothing is effective against Sudachi because she's void type except variable. Fuck that. The point is, she's basically doing the exact same thing as Sudachi does. Provoke onto yourself, generate a whole bunch of MP, then do your Magia or even double really quickly. Now, with everything that we see from her kit currently, she seems to be worse than Sudachi because she has less Endor Adapt than Sudachi currently, but these are not all of her SE notes. We're gonna have to wait until she releases, and then I'm gonna give you the full rundown of her entire kit and see if maybe she's gonna be able to do something about Sudachi's spot in the meta, but probably not, because Sudachi is void type, meaning she has no weakness, while Urara is water type. She has a weakness. It's forest. If you have a forest enemy against her, she's gonna be blown up immediately, and then her having Endor Adapt is not gonna matter much. So that's something to worry about. That said, because she has a lot more attack than Sudachi, because Sudachi has basically 0 attack, because she has a lot more attack than Sudachi, she might actually be able to do some damage, which Sudachi can't do. So she might actually be like a more offensive version of Sudachi, is what we're looking at currently. Some people are wondering, hey, could she have been good during the Kimochi that has just ended? Probably not. Probably not. She also has some Memoria, of course. The first one is just Fog on a Tag chance, which doesn't matter, and the second one is just attack up 5, which is 25%, which is just a standard. So yeah, just a standard attack Memoria, nothing really special. The attack up is okay either, so yeah, nothing too special. It's just a very average Memoria in current times. And the other one is just fog to enemy and defense down. Told you about the fog, it's everywhere, dude. Yeah, so that is that. What else do we have? Well, this is not quite the end. Let me skip past something else. She has an event as well. The Urara event, it seems like just a regular slice of life single tower event where not a whole lot is gonna happen. It's just supposed to be some event about Urara. Here's some event about Urara. Cool. It's probably not gonna be anything special. This seems to be the free Memoria. Oh yeah, this is the one. You can see her working the Diabolo, and it has 2 strings to it, right? So it's not actually a yo-yo, it's a Diabolo, but she calls it a yo-yo. Semantics. You also get a background, which I think is a background many people have been wondering about. It's the hospital background, which we've seen in the game from the very first chapter that has ever been released 5 years ago, and now we're finally getting it, which is weird that it's in the Urara event, but okay. But yeah, just a random thing here, just so nothing special to worry about. What is actually a special thing to worry about is we have a special celebration, and I should have maybe said this earlier in the video, because looking at, you know, your regular YouTube statistics, usually like 100% of people watch the start, and then like 5 seconds into the video only 50% of people watch, then 5 seconds later it's like 25%, and then it like goes down like exponentially drops down like logarithmically. Point is, I probably should have said this earlier, but free rolls, free 10 rolls. What? Free 10 rolls? What do you mean free 10 rolls? Yes, free 10 rolls. What are we getting? So this will be the last bit of anime celebration that we'll ever get. And yes, the anime has already finished airing months ago, but now the Blu-rays have been released. And to celebrate the Blu-rays for the final season of the anime to be released, we're getting a login bonus. Log in once during this event time, and you get 50 gems and some Memoria. Cool, great. You also have the opportunity to buy a special bag for 500 paid gems for an Inno gem and an over limiter, which is a tiny bit on the pricey side, but not that much. Like, it's a little bit on the pricey side, but it's not overly super expensive. So yeah, it's paid gems, so only worry about this if you're a whale. Then they're saying like, hey, we're running the Alina Eve thing here, the Neo Dorothy Motherf Clucker as this. Cool. More importantly here, they say that you get a grand total of 70 rolls spread out over 7 days. So for 7 days during this period, every day you log in, you get a free 10 roll on the premium gacha. It's only 7, so it's not enough for a full pity. But the thing about premium gacha is that whenever there's free rolls, they're always on the premium gacha, so you probably have some leftover pity from the last event. I have some leftover pity from the last event, so I'm gonna hit pity with these 70 rolls because I already have some left over. And if you don't hit pity with this one, you're at like 80 rolls or whatever, you can just not roll the last 20 rolls and just wait for the next time to get free rolls. So yeah, don't worry about that. There's also some coins. You also get like gacha coins for these 10 rolls, and specifically for the 10 rolls from the premium gacha during this event period, which can be exchanged for a handful of characters that appear during the anime. So for example, it's not just unlimited characters, it's also limited characters like Holy Mummy, for example. Just random characters that appear during the anime, but not every single character that appeared during the anime. You can get some of them from the coins here. Yeah, they're saying they're also rerunning the kero from this, the other battle bands that we've already talked about. And there's some special one-time missions that you can do for a handful of extra, like a 10 times gacha ticket for just doing regular missions that you're probably already doing from doing your daily missions every day. So overall, a whole bunch of stuff just happened at once. Pretty cool that they're actually giving us a bunch of new content after like weeks of not getting anything new for a while. So shoutouts to that, shoutouts to actually new content. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Hit subscribe button, ring the bell, and I'll see you guys next time.